Hey, it's Mr. Johns. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator. We are making a run from Moab, Utah, into Garden City, Kansas. Now, I chose that location because it's a DLC added on not too long ago, and I haven't been to Kansas yet, so I'm going to do a little truck maintenance first. We've got about 6% damage. We'll go ahead and pay for that, make sure we are in good shape before we hit the road. Kind of a long trip, so we'll be fast forwarding through a lot of this just to hit the highlights and get from Utah to Kansas. So what's in between? Well, Colorado. So that's part of the reason it's such a big trip. So we will just double checking right now just to make sure, but it pays pretty well, and it's Kansas, and so that's why I'm choosing it. So we're going to go ahead and pick up our trailer, which is one of these white trailers with the red and blue logo on the side that says sell goods, and make a run across 3 states basically. So across Utah, across Colorado, and into Kansas. So we'll hook this bad boy up and hit the road. Still having fun with this game, even though I've done a lot of episodes and done a lot of driving, many hours at this point. It's still fun. It's still a driving game that has some realism to it, some business elements to it, trying to make some money, also maintaining the vehicle that you're driving. So I like that you have to keep it gassed up. You have to replace the tires as they wear down. All the little. There's not only damage if you wreck your truck, but there's also just wear and tear, which I think is great. So that realism is part of the fun for sure. You do have to spend some of your money on the repairs and maintenance, part of owning a truck. So, and I'm far from starting an empire, a trucking empire. So it's hard enough just doing one truck. The goal eventually would be to buy a second truck and hire another driver and have them do runs for me where I take a cut of the business, and that eventually would lead to a third truck and then maybe a fourth truck, etc. So, all right, Grand Junction, Colorado, discovered for the first time here. Now, at least we are not driving across the mountain tops, the big peaks to get to Kansas. So this is relatively flat for Colorado. Here's Montrose, Colorado, discovered. But I have a feeling we will hit some mountains before we're done. So we're going to back in here and get some sleep. Got to watch your sleep as well as your fuel. And the sleep can throw your schedule off, so you want to be careful with that as well. They usually give you enough time. If it's a longer trip, you've got enough time to get your sleep in. So if you can see what it says on my GPS there, 12 hours and 46 minutes left. So that's how much is left, 636 miles. That is quite a trip. Definitely the longest I've done so far. I think 8 or 9 hours was my previous longest. And so as you earn skill points, you can put those skill points towards different types of jobs. And I've kept it pretty balanced up to this point. So I should have, I think, level 2 for everything. And the higher you go, the more jobs you can do that are in that category. So if I would have put all my points in long distance trips, I could be doing even longer trips. But I wanted to be a fairly well balanced truck, so I can do hazardous, I can do fragile, I can do jobs that need to be done quickly, long distance. So good to be balanced. And here I slowed the video down just because I just thought it was really cool. And here's the mountains I was talking about, up and over a mountain pass for sure. But as the sun comes up, which I thought was really cool. So slowed it down here just to show that I went from dark, driving at night, not able to see much, to a little bit of daylight, and then you'll see some color as I come up around this mountain. You'll see the sun start to come up and add color to the surrounding terrain. There we go. See the sun hitting the mountains there. Developers do a really nice job with that kind of thing, with just little things like the lighting, time of day. One thing I would like to see, I'd like to see animals. I mean, I have seen animals. I guess I should rewind that. I would like to see wild animals. I've seen horses. I thought I saw cows earlier, but I think they were horses. If they were a distance away. But I'd like to see deer, elk, an occasional bear, squirrels running across the road. Just a little variety. There are birds in the sky, although not super detailed. But I think just a little bit of life would be great. So steep grade here. We're still working our way up, and now we're down to 7 hours and 1 minute. So time does fly, literally. But we're going to get up and over this pass and then be able to drop down into Kansas. Kansas, one of the flattest states I've ever been to. I drove across Kansas once. I don't remember a single bump, like a hill. It was flat. Now, I know some people might say that about Idaho if they were just to drive the freeway on the southern part of the state, just across from, say, Ontario, Oregon, through Boise, all the way out to Idaho Falls, Pocatello, etc. That's a fairly flat part of the state. And maybe Kansas has some parts that aren't flat, but I remember not seeing any mountains or hills almost anywhere, just flat. It's one of the flattest states I've ever seen. And that's where we're headed. I'm headed to Kansas. So speeding our truck back up again. Get there quicker, So we're going to have to take a left here. And sun has, here's Lamar. You can see the sun had come up a little further. I had skipped a little bit of time in the video. Garden City, so we're here. Boom. Garden City, Kansas. The sign entering Kansas was not all that exciting. I didn't even really notice it hardly as I went by it. Just a little sign that said, "Welcome to Kansas." So, and we are just a few minutes out, 1 mile, 5 minutes out from dropping off our trailer, getting our paycheck. And then we will, since we're pretty exhausted and almost half tank full of gas, we'll take care of business there and might even make sure we do some maintenance on the truck, but might even look into some upgrades. It just might be time to change things up or look into some upgrades on the truck. So once we drop this off, we'll go in. We'll take a quick trip over to the repair shop and see what we can come up with. Green light. It takes so long to get these trucks moving that if you are even slightly hesitant on going when it's green, it takes a little bit to get across the intersection. So I want to make sure I'm paying attention 100% of the time. So here we go. We are dropping off the trailer, and we'll do the 40 XP delivery. Looks like a fairly simple parking job, and of course, I've said that before. It's never as easy as just backing up. It just is. I'm just, it's a challenge, but it's a fun part of the delivery, and that's why I leave it in the video. I think the backing in, the parking, is a good challenge. So the goal is always to get it right in the middle of the white rectangle, but you know how that goes. So almost jackknifed here, not looking good. So straighten it out just a little bit more, and we will see if we can improve that just a little bit. So there we go. Should be able to get that thing backed in, and then hopefully straight. Even though it's a game, I feel embarrassed. Like people are watching. Like it's like when you have to parallel park and there's traffic, and you're like, "Oh, really? Do people really have to watch me do this?" You just have to take a deep breath and don't stress about it. It's your parking, so it's okay. So you're not being judged or graded. Whoops! I kind of pounded into a post back there. So I'm surprised no damage popped up, and it's their trailer, not mine, but I'm still, they are paying me to deliver their trailer in the same shape it was in when I picked it up, so I'm going to try to miss that post this time. Kind of bend that to the right. Then we can wrap it around. Still pretty close to the post, but I think I should be able to get it right in that white rectangle. There we go. Once it's green, you can just hit enter up. And I usually go too far, which I did again. So move it forward, hit enter, and ba-ding dong. We're good. So excellent rating. As long as nothing pops up, no tickets, no crashes, everything's good. Just getting experience. I'm still level 13, working towards level 14. Now here I'm in the shop, and I'm looking at upgrades, thinking maybe I will pay the $27,500 for a sleeper. It looks cool. It just looks like just a more beefy truck when you have a sleeper attached. You are a true trucker when I have this sleeper back there with my TV and my microwave and my bed. Everything's all comfy. I do have to upgrade the chassis, however. And then I'm thinking, hey, as long as I got a little money in the bank, I got $123,000, and I don't plan on buying another truck really anytime soon. So let's go ahead and just upgrade, and we can go up from 450 to 500 horsepower on the engine. We can also go from a 13 gear up to a 18 gear. So that should help a lot. And interior, I just don't really think I need to pay anything to go from gray to tan. Neither of them are. I do like the quilted doors there better than just the plastic. So not a huge fan of the gray. So I think if I had to choose, I don't know. That looks okay, I guess. So we'll just go gray for now. And then I'm always thinking I need another paint job. I know it costs money every time, but since I like yellow, maybe just yellow with flames, even though it's like $21,000 to have it painted. It's not cheap. And even though I already own all these patterns and colors, you still have to pay the shop to paint it. So there's my yellow, but with some flames. So it just gives it a little bit of oomph, a little bit of excitement to it. So I'm going to go with that. And then accessories, I don't think I need to really do anything. So I'm going to confirm that order. And that's what my new truck, not my new truck, but that's what the truck looks like. And I think it is an improvement. So thanks for joining me on this trip into Kansas. I'll catch you next time on the next route. But for now, Mr. Johns is out.